Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? I just got back from the range, which I will show you some video of in a minute. I went to the range today specifically to shoot my Shadow Systems. Everybody happy now? My Shadow Systems Warpoet pistol. It's an MR 920. From what I understand, it's pretty close to the Elite version. And I went to shoot it with my Griffin Armament Revolution 9 suppressor, silencer, with the Baffle upgrade. I have to tell you, I was very, very impressed. This gun fired 50 rounds with absolutely no failures. The blowback was nothing. I mean, I don't even see anything. I don't see anything even on my Holosun optic, which, you know, in the past with this suppressor and the old Baffles, I would have blowback all over everything. I mean, it would be everywhere. It was a pretty dirty way to fire the gun, for a lack of a better way of putting it. This worked like a champ. I had no issues at all with the suppressor and none with the gun. I'm going to take it apart now, and we will see how hard it comes apart. Take a look at the baffles and see how they look after having 50 rounds put through it. Here are my Resistance 9. That's what this mess over here is. And this is my Revolution taken down, disassembled. And as you can tell, there's a lot of similarities. In fact, all of these parts that you see here are interchangeable. The real big difference is in the length of the tubes. This one is can be taken apart, and you can do what is known as the K configuration. These are the old baffles. Now, when they come in the Revolution 9, there is a little cap piece that actually you would have on the end of this that goes, I guess, down on this end. Obviously, it's the only place it fits. When I got these back, I didn't have that end cap anymore. All of these, and I'm going to try to show you, I'm going to try to focus in. These all go together. There's a little knobby thing right there that you can see. And what happens to keep these all aligned is that clicks in. Notice here that you've got this little cut here in the top of this baffle. Now here's the difference. You have a great big hole in this one right here compared to this notch out that's in this one. On top of that, these here are cuffed, where this is straight walled. So this part of the baffle is actually bigger than it is on this one. The other big difference is, I told you about the little piece here, this little knobby thing that causes them to check and lock up. This one has a much bigger piece here that causes it to lock up. Something else that I basically just found out. This top cap does not have the knob on it. So you can line all these up and get them all lined up, but this one does not have the knob on it, and that's the top one. That's the piece that goes basically up against this in the tube. So this piece here doesn't have the knob lockup on it. Let's take this thing apart. Let's see how hard it is to take this thing apart. Well, that wasn't hard at all. Probably need to be in there tighter. I thought I screwed it down pretty well, but maybe not. Okay, the end cap is off. don't know whether you can see down in there, but looks like your typical inside of a, and that's not going to happen. So let's take off the tail end of this thing. Okay, there she goes. Ooh, didn't go where I wanted it to, but we'll work with it. Okay, we've got this off of here. And those are nice fouled baffles. 50 rounds. And no, I can't push them as is. So, looks like we're going to have to do a little rap-a-tap here. Well, there's one. A little more aggressive rap-a-tap, let's just put it that way. Let's see if this will work for us. Yep, that seems to be getting it. There's one more out of it. Yeah, they're going now. Okay. We have the baffles out. And 50 rounds. And they're gooped up. Which is to be expected. I am going to be buying from Griffin Armament their tool. They actually have a tool for banging the baffles out, which will definitely help. But those are the baffles. That's what they look like after they've been fired. I don't think that's terribly bad for 50. And the other thing about it that I'm noticing, I don't know whether you can see, but the carbon buildup on them it seems to be far more even on these baffles than what it was with the old baffles. With the old baffles, I seem to have far more buildup in some of the baffles than I did in others. And it wasn't an even buildup, where this seems to be just that. I don't know whether you can see it off here, but this is a hydrostatic cleaner, and that's where all those are going right now. That's the only good way I know to really, and you're not going to get baffles in a suppressor completely clean. I just got done cleaning my Revolution 9 suppressor. We're using my Hornaday lock and load sonic cleaner, and I was amazed, is the best way I can put it. These baffles are incredibly, incredibly clean. I know I only put 50 rounds through it. Now, I will tell all of you this, that I clean my suppressor after every use. And the reason why, whether I put 50 rounds through it or 350 rounds through it, I will always clean it after each use. The reason for that is if you do not maintain your suppressor and clean these baffles and clean it out routinely, you will not get it apart. And I personally think that it affects the suppression capability of the suppressor if you don't maintain it. But I told you earlier there was, virtually no blowback in the gun at all using this suppressor, which was quite surprising to me. Because when I was using it with the old baffles, it definitely had blowback in quite a bit of it. But all of the parts, the tube, all of this, it all cleaned a hell of a lot better than it has ever cleaned before, even the spring. Now the spring and this piston and whatever this, piston holder thingy is here, they have all been used before. And they had some carbon buildup on them. And they're actually cleaner now. And it's not because I did anything different with my sonic cleaner. I'm telling you people, it has nothing to do with the sonic cleaner, because I've used it every time the same way, the same, Hornaday material, and it only took an hour to clean it. I have run it for over 3 hours in the past trying to clean the baffles, and these are just amazing. So if you've got a new Revolution 9 suppressor, then you've got the new baffles. I can't say enough about it. If you've got one of the older ones, which is what this one was, I bought this back in, well, I actually purchased it in 2015, but I didn't get it until 2016. And it took 13 months for me to actually get my Form 1 and my tax stamp back for this one. So that's how old this is. It's going on, well, this summer, it will be easily June of this year, it will be 6 years old. So what I want to tell everybody, this was worth the money. It was definitely worth the money to put the new baffles into this suppressor. And I will recommend it to anybody. So, okay, I've said enough. I hope you all have a great night, and we'll catch you on the next one.